Marcus Rashford scored his first goal with Barcelona as Hansi Flick's side ended its pre-season Asia tour with a 5-0 triumph against Daegu FC on Monday in South Korea. In just his third appearances for the club since joining on loan from Manchester United last month, Rashford, who had come off the bench at the break, scored from the edge of the box in the 65th minute after being set up by Eric Garcia. Barca dominated the game, with the visitors having no shots on goal in 90 minutes. "We have completed one of the most important stages of the pre-season," Barca boss Hansi Flick told reporters. "The most important thing for us is that we have been able to train well. We have seen what we wanted to see, and the tests have been good." A double from Xavi, who had returned to the starting 11, and a goal from Robert Lewandowski had given the visitors a comfortable 3-0 halftime lead. Despite not scoring on the day, Yamal was very active in attack and did assist Xavi's opener in the 21st minute while also forcing the keeper to make several saves. Flick made 11 changes at the break, and despite the heavy rain, the visitors picked up where they left off. Dani Olmo set up Tony Fernandes inside the area, and the academy graduate made no mistake from close range in the 54th minute. Barca had more chances to extend their lead after Rashford made it 5-0 but were met by fine saves from the goalkeeper. Barcelona defender Pau Cubarsí was replaced late in the game because of injury. When asked about Cubarsí's injury, Flick said, "He's okay. It's just a knock on his left knee." Barca returned to Spain having scored 15 goals in their 3 games of their Asia tour. Flick's men take on Serie A club Como on Sunday at the Joan Gamper Trophy, an annual friendly match that acts as a curtain raiser to Barca's campaign. After taking apart FC Seoul by a 7-3 scoreline last week, Barcelona put 5 past Daegu FC to complete the perfect preseason. The team looked well-oiled throughout, and Hansi Flick used the opportunity to test out new dynamics and alter the lineups in both halves compared to previous games. Goals from Xavi and Robert Lewandowski in the first half and Tony Fernandes and Marcus Rashford after the break eventually helped the team to a 5-0 win on the night, one that will be seen as the perfect end to the Asia Tour. After all, it also saw the team maintain their first clean sheet, and on that note, Barca Universal brings you 3 takeaways from Daegu FC 0-5 Barcelona. Xavi's redemption arc has begun. A lot was said about Xavi last season despite the youngster just returning from injury. After all, he was not at his best as he slowly made his way back to complete fitness after an ACL setback that kept him out for a year. Xavi scored 2 goals against Daegu FC. Photo by Han Myung-gu/Getty Images. Hansi Flick was cautious with his use of Xavi through last season and ensured that he was returned to the team dynamics slowly. The player, for his part, also took matters with caution and did not overpush himself. The preseason tour, however, has seen him make a massive statement on his quality, and it is safe to say Xavi has shut his haters down with performances that make him a contender for a starting role. While Xavi's performances against Vissel Kobe and FC Seoul were impressive, the clash against Daegu FC saw him at his very best as he netted twice on the night. Starting as part of the double pivot alongside Frenkie de Jong, he looked confident and shone with his distribution, defensive awareness and attacking instinct. Neither of Xavi's finishes on the night were simple, and his ability to beat the goalkeeper who otherwise shone speaks volumes about how match-ready the Golden Boy winner is. His redemption arc has begun, and Barcelona will see the best of Xavi once more this season. Interesting developments at centre-back. Despite having 3 natural centre-backs available to choose from against Daegu FC, Flick opted to hand Gerard Martin a start in the department alongside Ronald Araujo in what came as a surprising development. Gerard Martin played as a centre-back. Picture courtesy, FC Barcelona official website. The player did indeed play in the same position against Seoul in the previous game, but Flick's decision to hand him a start centrally only goes to show that the manager counts him as a central defender for the coming season. Surprisingly, the player did a fair job at it. Playing 45 minutes as the left centre-back, Martin racked up 1 assist, created 1 big chance and made 7 defensive actions, and it is clear that he has developed significantly from last season. Martin's entry as a valuable CB option adds him to a long list of options for the manager, including Ronald Araujo, Pau Cubarsí, Íñigo Martínez and Andreas Christensen. With Cubarsí leaving the field injured towards the end of the game and Martínez already facing discomfort, the situation, just 3 games in, highlights the importance of retaining all players in the position. Needless to say, Flick will now have second doubts over considering a departure in the position. Olmo needs to do better. Dani Olmo's performance against Daegu FC after coming on in the second half was far from a complete wreck, and the player did have a fair set of contributions in the attacking third. Dani Olmo needs to step up in the 2025-26 season. Photo by Paul Miller/Getty Images. The Spaniard racked up 2 key passes, created 1 big chance and had 3 shots on target in his 45 minutes in the second half and looked comfortable in tight spaces as he is known to be. What let him down, however, was his decision-making at times and his efficacy in front of the goal. For the number and quality of chances Olmo had, he should have had a brace of his own with better finishing or at least 2 assists had he opted to be less selfish and find the free man. Instead, he went for the shot himself on every occasion and came out of the game with nothing to show. While Olmo may not have played a terrible game, the competition for a starting spot in the attacking midfield is ruthless this season. Fermin Lopez, Pedro Rodriguez and even the likes of Rafinha and Tony Fernandes are capable of playing in the position, and it is clear that Olmo, who currently is an undisputed starter in the position, must improve signing if he is to hold on to his position. Barcelona have finished their pre-season tour of Asia with a perfect record thanks to a dominant 5-0 win over Daegu FC in the third and final game of the tour in Daegu, South Korea on Monday. Barca fully dominated the entire match and played perhaps their best game of the tour with and without the ball, with plenty of reserves and youngsters impressive again and Xavi shining in the first half as the Catalans continue to make progress in their preparations for the new season. First half. Barca were facing in theory the weakest opponent of the tour, so Hansi Flick decided to mix some of his usual starters with a couple of reserves and youngsters like Gerard Martin at centre-back and a surprise start for young Dairo Fernandes to give his team a different look. Daegu had a couple of dangerous attacks early on trying to get in behind the Barca defense but were caught by the Blaugrana offside trap, and after just 10 minutes the Catalans were in full control, dominating the ball completely and easily finding spaces inside the Daegu defense. Barca created big chance after big chance seemingly every time they attacked, and every forward had at least 1 or 2 big opportunities. Lamine Yamal missed a few, Rafinha came very close twice, and Deago couldn't sort his feet out inside the box and ended up missing a potential tap-in. But the Blaugrana attack was so good, with such good passing and movement, that they eventually found the net enough times. The first goal was a sweet strike from distance from Xavi, the second was an easy tap-in for Robert Lewandowski after a nice run and assist by Martin, and Xavi doubled his tally on the night with a gorgeous chip over the keeper thanks to a nice assist by Jules Kounde. The half-time whistle came to end a very comfortable period for Barca, who were up 3 goals but could have very easily scored 6 or 7 and were poised to keep adding to the lead in the second half.